Is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Good to be with you, Maria, and your viewers.
Do you really think you are going to be able to speak to Jim Comey this upcoming week, sir?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I expect that later today, Mr. Comey will withdraw his motion to quash our subpoena and agree to voluntarily appear for a transcribed interview. That, of course, remains to be seen. It hasn't happened yet, but the counsel for the House and the counsel for Mr. Comey have been working cooperatively, and I expect that'll happen. If it doesn't, there is a hearing set tomorrow morning, and based upon the precedent, including very clear United States Supreme Court precedent, I'm confident the court will rule in favor of the House and protect the House's right to issue subpoenas and not allow witnesses to dictate the terms under which they would appear before the Congress.
Well, let me just go back to what you just said, because this is breaking news. You are expecting Jim Comey to withdraw his motion to push back and, in fact, sit for a private hearing sometime later this week. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. That's the expectation. That's been the basis of discussions that are going on, and we'll await it actually happening, but that is what I believe will happen.
Why do you believe this?
Because the parties have been working together. I think that the strength of the presentation made by Tom Hungar, the House counsel, on Friday, and the House's brief is very compelling, and I think that that is where the parties are headed in their discussions right now.
Where is this going to get you regardless, Mr. Chairman? I mean, look, in all due respect, we have been with you, this program has, all year, as you have scrutinized the handling of the Hillary Clinton investigation and the Trump-Russia collusion investigations of the FBI and the DOJ. And here we are, literally 3 or 4 weeks before you step down, and now you subpoena these two. I mean, couldn't you have done this sooner? What took so long?
Well, we certainly couldn't have done it sooner. We've now examined thousands of pages of documents, searched through nearly 1 million documents, interviewed 16 other witnesses. Mr. Comey is, as the former FBI director, at the center of both of these investigations, launched in 2016 with regard to Hillary Clinton and the Trump campaign. And it's the culmination of that. We've been asking for Mr. Comey to appear for a few months now, and when he refused to appear voluntarily for a transcribed interview, I was forced to issue a subpoena, which he now has sought to quash. That's, in my opinion, inappropriate, and now it's time for us to conduct that interview. After that interview, we do need to wrap up, but I will also say that there are always more questions that people will have, and that's why I'm pleased that Senator Lindsey Graham, who's expected to be the next chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Chairman Ron Johnson of the Senate Oversight Committee have both expressed very strong interest and intentions to me to continue to pursue this matter. So we do need to wrap it up. We do need to get this information out to the public, and we are hard at work on doing that. But Mr. Comey's testimony is a critical part of that.
What are you going to find out from Jim Comey? What are the most important questions you need to ask him?
Well, I'm going to save those for Mr. Comey, but you can imagine that you have a 400-page Inspector General's report. You have the testimony of 16 other witnesses, all of which were taken in private transcribed interviews. You have the thousands of pages of documents. Those have generated literally hundreds of questions that need to be asked, and we are prepared now with some very experienced former prosecutors like Trey Gowdy and John Ratcliffe, and very experienced investigative staff to ask those questions and get to the bottom of this answer. We want to follow this matter. We want to follow the truth where it leads, and then we want to make these transcripts available to the public so that they can draw their own conclusions about what occurred in 2016. I'm concerned, and it's my hope that by doing this, we will prevent it from happening again in 2020, or hopefully ever again. The FBI was misused in 2016, and this is an organization that is very, very important. Every day, thousands and thousands of great FBI agents and others protect us from terrorist attacks, prevent crimes, solve crimes. This organization has been hit hard, and they need to be rehabilitated. And let me just say, Christopher Wray,
yeah,
the new FBI director, I think has done a job of making major personnel changes at the top, and in terms of taking the Inspector General's report to heart and making changes so that this kind of thing won't happen again.
Mr. Chairman, stay with us because we've got more to talk about on this, as well as want to get your upcoming comments.